Content is key, they say. So where do you get content? I have my brand here, I have my vision ready, I have everything, but I'm scared that if I start producing content, I might run out. Hi everyone, welcome to the 4th episode of the Human Algorithm of Things. If you're new here, my name is Diana Doreen. I'm a communications and public relations expert, and I talk about leadership, communications, PR, and digital marketing in this space. So I majorly focus on messaging. I majorly focus on the type of content that you put out. I am not a designer. Neither am I a web developer, but I've done all those things. But my main focus is now the message, the copy that you put out there, the advert message that you put in posters and everything. That is my specialization. Yeah, so welcome to the 4th episode of the Human Algorithm of Things. And just to get two things out of the way, we're going to look at one of the reviews by you guys, and then we're going to look at a unique post that captured my attention, and it's worth mentioning in relations to the human algorithm of things and connecting, and how do you become authentic with your messaging. So what happened this week was very interesting. Netflix actually sent us emails for us who are using the free subscription, who are enjoying the free subscription, sent us an email notifying us of the termination of that subscription and now moving to paid subscription. It was a very good, a nice experience, I would say. I am not into so much watching movies and series, but I really liked it because it got me getting to, watch some of the things that I like, Bridgerton and all that. Bridgerton fans, yay! And I said it's a very good marketing strategy to get people to interact with your product or service firsthand, win the trust, and see and actually feel the experience so that they can actually move forward to paying for the subscription, which is a very good thing, because at the end of the day they didn't put it all out. They had to limit. You cannot watch every show in that free plan, but look at the way I'm talking about it. That was part of the goal. These are small ambassadors who are now talking about it, and it's creating conversations and engagements, and those are the things that you want for your brand, right? So I posted something on that, and someone actually agreed with it and said globally, the society is very selective on the kind of service any entrepreneur offers. In fact, marketing consumes over 40% of the allocation of a business set up in relation to planning. Without considering it, you may end up having business not done. He was saying that people are very selective because at the end of the day, how much options do we have today as compared to some century ago? Like nowadays, you would find so many people offering the same service, and now standing out becomes so difficult if you do not have content that actually gets your client or customer hooked. So that's the one review that I got this week in relations to, or with regards to, this topic about content. And I'm going to tell you why this one is really linked to creating content in a few. And also I'm going to read one post that really caught my eye, and this one is on Threads. So this is something someone posted. Keep your head down for the next 6 months. Wake up early, hit the gym, reduce screen time, start a side hustle, save money, read self-help books, eat healthy, sleep before 12 a.m., drink more water, go on walks in nature. And then, 3 hours later, somebody came and posted, this is internet. Someone will say, work full night. Someone will say, wake up early. Listen to yourself. What she mentioned is beautifully awesome, but for herself. I like this content because it speaks a lot about the kind of life philosophies and school of thoughts. There's so much out there. You can easily get lost. After looking at everything that's going on, after looking at how people are putting content and everything, you have to sit down and ask yourself, what is it for my brand? What is unique for my brand that will help me send out messages or information that is going to help me with my business operations? Today we're going to talk about content creation, like creating content, basically. So one time someone asked me, yes, I really want to go online and everything, but I'm scared that I'm not going to be consistent. How are we going to have content? First of all, on the last episode, we talked about showing up daily. And that would be a very key concern for someone, because you don't want to miss out on other days and come on other days, to a point that when they now want to make a buying decision, your brand comes up. If you want to post about your content, you just post. Don't feel like you're going to be so intrusive unless you're going on people's inboxes. But if you're using your platforms to post content, always post daily. In fact, starting out, sometimes you would post more than once or more than 3 times in a day, because you want to be consistent and you want to be to remain relevant, and you want to put your message out there. Going to be more consistent. We're going to look at 3 things actually in this podcast. First, we're going to look at who is your audience, or who is your target. And then the second one is, what is your goal? The last one is bonus content, things to consider when coming up with content. So I hope you're going to stick around. So before we start, I would like to appreciate you guys for sticking with me. I know we're still a small community, but I'm grateful, guys. The way the previous video performed was better than the other one, because I feel like I invested a lot in the previous video, because this where the meat is, and so many people resonated with it, and I'm so glad you guys did. So when you look at content, I normally look at it from a point of wanting to get married to a girl. So you've heard of this story, I guess, countless times, and you're normally told you can't propose on the first day. That is very true. You cannot propose on the first day, no matter how great you are. What pushes you to that woman is maybe her looks, or maybe her character. Sometimes, normally, for the human brain, it's the looks. So your content should have a hook that pulls someone to want to see, okay, what is this? And to just get their attention, I will do a content on that, and then I'll keep it on my website, and you can easily interact with it. So if you're just interested, you can comment, or you can let me know. Yeah, so the first thing that happens is someone gets attracted to someone, right? And that only happens if this person is unique for this other person. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm making sense. So that's where it all starts. Then moving forward, you now think of strategies of getting to talk to this person. You just don't go to them and say, hey, I really want to marry you. I really want to marry you. I feel like you're the best fit for me, because that's not how it works. And if you're looking, and whenever you don't have a customer avatar or a customer persona, this is a description of who your ideal customer is. You've looked at their age, you've looked at the gender, are they working, what's their level of income, and everything. So if you're selling to everyone, you are looking at a girl and you assume that you're fit for them. But if you're selling to a specific person, and if you do not resonate, or you do not have a connection, then it means they're not the person for you. And we're not forcing things here. Have you ever sat down and asked yourself, if for the person I want to sell this product to, who is it, and what or how much knowledge do they have about my brand, or how much income do they have, or who is this person that I'm selling to? This is a topic that we'll discuss further in detail in other episodes. But yeah, that's the first thing you consider. How you know very well this person is this, and this is what they talk about, and this is what they do on certain days, how they spend their free time, and where they hang out. That is both online and offline. You have a clear picture of the kind of person you're talking about. So when you want to engage them, it's content that they will actually resonate with, right? Moving forward, what's your goal? Like we've said, your goal should be aligned with your business operations. To say that, if you are running a campaign, maybe you have something coming up and you want to really double down on maybe a product that you have, or double down on a specific service, maybe in line with some, lifestyle seasons and all that, you now have to ask yourself, how do I reach out to these people at this particular time? Because at the end of the day, you have this content that you continue to share every single day or every single week, and then now you have these campaigns that double down to help you achieve this like specific goal that you have within a specific period, like a campaign or something. So there are 3 unique goals, and I talked about it in the previous podcast. These 3 unique goals are creating engagement, number 2 is nurturing, and number 3 is conversion. Conversion simply means making sales. Awareness is creating engagement is awareness, where you just want people to know about your product. And then lead nurturing is now the part where you have this, you've saved some people and you've seen how these are serious people, and now they have not reached the buying level or the buying decision, but they are potential people, and you want to now nurture them about your product and help them to move from just being interested in now buying your product. So what Netflix did is exactly that. They were nurturing us. We did not have first-hand experience. Like, we had these accounts and people, Netflix has always been there, but they wanted us to have a first-hand experience of how it feels to have it on our phones and all that. So we were nurtured. We were being nurtured. We were being given an opportunity to see firsthand what this service is about, so that at the end of October, when the free plan will be ending, some of us will choose to buy it to now become subscribers, and at a very small fee. You see, so you will not even look at the fee, but you look at the benefits that it has given you for all the time it has served you. Yeah, so I hope I'm making sense. We're going now to this unique bonus. This bonus content is very specific, and it's going to help you to create content even better. So the first thing we're going to do is to look at things to consider when you are creating content. So we have looked at, now I've created a goal, this is what I want to do for this month, and I know my customer very well, so come down to writing content. So number 1, there is storytelling. So storytelling, what's the value of storytelling? Storytelling helps with memorability. It helps people to remember your content. Maybe into tea, beverage, and you now talking about how it was manufactured, the year you guys started, and the machines that you're using, which is very great, and that is part of content. But people don't want to know so much about that. They want to know, how is this helping me? Like, how is this benefiting me on a daily basis? So you look at tea and look at it from a point of, maybe it's a rainy, they've said El Nino is coming, right? We're waiting for it. So El Nino is coming. How is tea going to unite people? Look at it from an emotional and a point of human connection, so that you say, maybe you can run a campaign talking about how tea brings people together. There's a problem. This is a human being with a specific problem, and they want to reach a certain goal. So you bring that story out like that, so that you say, maybe it was raining and storming, and people are angry, people are late for work, people are late to come back home, kids are not feeling so well, but then the mom comes with tea, serves everyone in the evening, and people are finally warm, and they get to connect, they share laughter, they share happiness. You see, that kind of story will make a lot of sense to people, and people will look at themselves and say, I want that kind of life, and it actually brings some sort of connection. And that's the goodness with storytelling. And with that kind of story, people will remember that advert or remember that content so easily, as compared to you coming and telling us how this majani chai was manufactured and how it has unique nutrients and specific things and all that. People will not remember that, and people will find it so boring. Yeah, so that's a good way of putting out content through storytelling. The second one is by answering the 5 questions customers normally ask. And I'm going to read through the 5 questions that customers normally ask. Sit down with yourself, get a pen and a paper. For each question, ask yourself deeply and get deep specific answers, or get deep specific questions to these questions. The first question is, what kind of questions do clients ask right before making a buying decision? What kind of questions do clients ask right before making a buying decision? And this is very important because you want to get as many questions from that question so that it can help you. And in each question, it's a way to create content through storytelling. I hope I'm making sense. So, for example, for me, as a company that does communications and PR, I would have a question like, how can I measure leads or engagement on my social media platform? Or how can I grow my community on socials? Like, you have to have this specific question that someone would ask themselves. And then I could also have, I want my event to stand out. What's the best way to achieve it? I want my event to stand out. I just don't want an event. You see, that would be a very generic or a very vague question. I've gone down to say, how can my event stand out or be the talk of the town? And how can I achieve that? So such questions are the things that you write them down. Answering them is content itself. Then you use storytelling. The second one is, do my prospects struggle with a certain problem that you can help them solve? Do my prospects struggle with a certain problem that you can help them solve? Answer those questions to attract them. That's another thing. Like my client, for example, will be suffering from getting media attention. How do I get free media attention? That's a problem they're facing. So if I come up with content around that, and I use storytelling and, good pictures and good photos and videos, tell me, how are they not going to be hooked, even if you dance around? Then the third one is stories of people who have experienced something awful because they didn't use your product. Stories of people who have experienced something awful because they didn't use your product. Stories of people who have experienced something awful because they didn't use your product. For example, I'm going to use my example. You can use yours. Using stock images, using downloaded images on your platforms, and coming out as cheap. You see? So you want to invest in photography, like literal photography and professional photography that actually does storytelling. Because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So how do you achieve that? So that is something that I have picked out. So if someone uses, you see the way I'm going specific to specific issues, that's how you should be specific, so that you are able to answer specific problems that consumers or your consumers are facing. The fourth one, positive stories or testimonials. Testimonials are just literally user-generated content. I would say they're part of user-generated content. User-generated content is content that your consumer goes ahead to create out of your brand or out of something that you have done or out of the satisfaction of your product, and they put it out there for everyone to see. Or they just send it to you and they give you the consent to use it wherever you want to use it. That content is a gem for everyone, and you don't want to miss out on putting such things out there. So that's why you find even organizations go ahead and give people room to send out user-generated content or thank yous and such things, because they are very important. At the end of the day, people trust people more than they trust brands. So you want to leverage on that 100%. And remember, never to put content when a user does not want you to put, which has personal information and all that. Still goes to ethics in advertising and marketing. Be careful, be cautious, ask before you put out content, because people will call you out. Then What tips could you give to a passionate audience? What tips would you give to a passionate audience? For example, I'm still using my content. Consistent blogging on industry topics. 5 ways to consistently blog on industry topics, or 5 benefits of having a unique brand identity on social media. Or you can go further, 5 ways to customize your content to suit current trends or seasons. You see, specificity is what is going to guide you, because when you're specific, a client or a prospect knows that you understand what you're saying. So finally, we're going to look at the Netflix kind of way of doing things. We've seen they gave us a bit of time to enjoy their free plan. So one of the unique strategies they used is giving out a teaser, or giving out something that, we want to make clients trust us. We want to make clients see this value in what we're giving. And nowadays, there are so many people who are giving things that are similar to us. So how do we get them on the periphery of wanting to now engage with us? So number 1 is giving them a teaser, like what Netflix did. You want to give them something that is closely tied to what you're selling, because at the end of the day, it's not about creating. Now here, we're not creating awareness. Here we're converting. Here we're creating sales. We want to get sales. So when you want to get sales, or you want to get quality leads, for example, in Netflix, their teaser was, you get into this, what you want to give them is, what you want to exchange for a teaser is useful information like email or contact, or, how you can reach them. You got a free plan. You had the chance to, maneuver through the app and get all this, content. And now you see, you want to buy at the end of the day, because now you have trusted them that actually these people are talking about legit and good things. Number 2, you want to pre-qualify your customers so that they feel that they wamepelekwa mbele kidogo, so that they are closer to buying something. So how do you do that? So you can give out free advice or free consultation, like what I'm doing right now. You can give them free content, but being very limited, so that, or just giving value or relevance, so that they can feel like, okay, if this is given for free, then how much value will I get from a paid content or paid service or product? You see, so that is like pre-qualifying them and bringing them closer. Why is it free, or why is it at a low cost? Because you don't want to give them, to make them feel like they need to commit, or they need to invest a lot. You just want them to put the next slightest move to you. And then number 3, contests and giveaways. Contests and giveaways are great ways of getting people on board. But remember, when you're giving people money as a result of competing or doing something, you're not going to get quality people to do something. So, for example, if you are into the business of photography, I would use that. And that's exactly what we used actually when you're into the business of photography, or even here in communications and PR and marketing, I would say you can participate in this, a very creative way of doing things. Maybe I would say a challenge, and then from that challenge, the winner gets a free social media evaluation of your company, or you get anything that is linked to what you can sell. You don't just give an award, so that people who are coming are people who are interested in your service or product. I hope that makes sense. And then the 4th one are challenges. The way I've said, challenges and all that. And then giving away information. Thought leadership. You want to show people that you know your craft so well. You're going to give out information. Don't be scared of giving out information, because at the end of the day, people will still want the chef to cook the meal. Because, when you're getting advice, like when I'm giving you all these tips and tricks, I am not, general advice never works, but specific advice to your specific problems that you're experiencing at a specific time is more valuable. So when I'm giving you all these things, I'm not scared that someone is going to do it by themselves. It's okay. And if someone gets to do it by themselves from the things that I have mentioned, it's even better, because at the end of the day, we're trying to give value. But now, why is it that people always still go back to the chef? Because at the end of the day, there are these nitty-gritties of your problem that you need advice at a particular specific thing. So maybe I have given you all this. I've opened up your eyes to knowing, and your mind to knowing that this is how content is created. Now you're going to another level of now putting out content, and then along the journey you get stuck. Who will you go back to? Because or maybe it works for you, and then to reach a point you cannot really scale or further, which I'm not really wanting that to happen, because I know you're good students and you grasp so